There are 13 options on the menu for King of Fighters 13,
All
Ryan.
right, come on, lucky 13. Oh,
You got one.
Damn it, I was off by one. I wanted
Sorry.
13 so bad.
Yeah.
See these options here in the King of Fighters. 13.
Yes, 13 fighting kings are here to...
I think there's more dudes than that in this. I should hope so.
Well, only 13 of them are kings of fighters.
Oh, okay.
That's part of the story I'm writing with my King of Fighters fan fiction. It's actually 13 different Orochi versions of Kyo.
Great. That's all I wanted anyway.
Yeah. It's a fighting game.
Hey, SNK still does this.
In 2 dimensions.
Yeah, they, a couple years ago.
Some cool-looking backgrounds. Some unlockable characters that I've already gotten through the story here.
They went through the kind of redrawing all their sprites a couple years ago, and I imagine they're still kind of reaping the benefits of a fair amount of that here.
I haven't gone back and compared them to 12, but
Okay.
this has a different look than 12 did.
Okay.
So I don't know that they're necessarily
Still riding on that.
Riding that stuff. But you can make your own custom color schemes, and they give you a bunch to work with as well. So it's
Just. So you're saying advanced palette swap technology
exactly.
at work here?
You can swap your own palettes in all you want.
You're just going to make everyone try and look a little bit like Terry? Is that your...
Whenever possible, look like Terry Bogard. If I could look like Terry Bogard, do you think I'd be here?
No.
Exactly.
You're driving a truck, taking your hat off.
That's right. Throw my hat off. Okay.
You're like, I don't need this hat.
Are you ready?
So traditional King of Fighters 3-on-3 format here.
Team battle. So in arcade mode, they let you pick your own. It has edit team functionality, but in the story mode,
you have to pick presets.
You're limited to the teams, and they've got pre-fight stuff here for pretty much every matchup in the game.
And this dude is talking to himself.
He's talking to himself. Yeah.
But he knows that he's talking to himself.
Yeah, exactly. So they've written quite a bit of custom text there. No real speech in this game. As far as like the story mode and those things, like it's all text, which is great because there's probably a lot of stuff they had to write. But in the story mode that we'll get to later, it's a little weird looking.
Again, I realized that this was true in 12, but this is a sharp-looking damn game.
Very much so, yeah.
Really leveraging that 2D art pretty impressively here, I have to say. So it is team, not tag.
It is team, not tag.
So you'll go through all 3 life bars over the course of the match.
Yeah. King of Fighters in UK. It's a sick bus.
I always love the end of fight when everyone starts animating really fast.
Yeah.
So now these 2 guys are going to have a little talk.
Oh, you guys, we know each other real well. Blah, 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 blah. Art of fighting, art of fighting, art of fighting.
We both came from a game that no one that actually plays this game knows about.
You should know us as Team Art of Fighting now. Whatever, man. Art of Fighting 3.
See, I only even vaguely remember when SNK started kind of leveraging its weird sundry fighting game franchises into saying like, all right, we're going to roll it all up for King of Fighters here, and then at a certain point, those other franchises fell away.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's like, well, now we just have King of Fighters.
Yeah, they're not going to go make a new Fatal Fury game.
No,
and they're certainly not going to go make a new Art of Fighting game at this point. Though there'd be something kind of cool about that. It'd be really weird, but yeah, everything's been absorbed into KOF now.
So I only barely remember when that started happening. So I wonder like what percentage of the audience that's playing King of Fighters today, knows that history.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to think about.
It's also hard to think about who the audience for King of Fighters is right
and
now.
I'd imagine that a lot of the people that are into King of Fighters at this point probably have a long and storied history with the genre.
Probably, but there's a fair amount of young cats out there that for whom this recent kind of boom that we've had for fighting games is probably their first real introduction.
That's certainly possible.
Just interesting to consider the lineage here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You king of fought those guys.
I did. So you might have noticed in the underneath my life bars there's been this kind of mission thing, and as far as I can tell, that's a single player
S-rank.
Single player sort of deal there to give you some ways to earn meter by completing these kind of missions as you play. Let's let Terry go in first, I guess.
Feels like King of Fighters. I mean,
it does. Yeah. I mean, it's got your hop jumps, your long jumps. The boss is pretty difficult.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
I know that you're fighting a man for your life right now.
I am.
But I'm really not clear on what the hell is going on in the background of the stage.
Yeah, I can't really help you with that.
I can't tell if it's insanely racist or if I'm insanely racist for thinking it might be insanely racist.
Yeah, it's a real mind bender.
It's a real razor's edge back there.
Yeah.
God, look at Terry Bogard's arms.
They're large.
Look at what they've become.
And a lot of his pre-fight dialogue is a lot of people going like, "Oh man, now I'm going to face off against the legendary Wolf again, or for the first time or something. Let's do this." He's got his legacy. But they've they always change move sets a little bit and kind of decide which ones they're going to throw in here. So it's this version of Terry here. No power dunk.
Okay.
Can't say I'm a fan of because I love me some power dunk. Everyone's got a couple of supers or what do they call them? Desperation moves. And then Neo Max super special moves, which use three. It's basically a level 3 super.
Got it. I read the description just like, oh, okay, so it's very special or very super.
It's Neo Max.
This lady has some weird smoke effects going on. So yeah,
some get smoked effects.
Yeah, that too.
Over here, they're even crazier on
Yeah.
the right side of the stage. It's even weirder over here. Great looking backgrounds. The sprites look really nice. It's just a pleasant looking game.
Yeah, for sure. And it doesn't seem like it suffers from the suffers is maybe it's a subjective term here, I suppose. Some people like it, but the Guilty Gear games, they can get so crazy with the character designs, or just kind of the Arc System style of 2D fighting games.
Yeah,
where they get so bizarre with their character designs. And get so obsessed with like crazy screen filling moves. Like this is like two dudes fighting each other. There's a little energy splash happening here and there, but
it's a King of Fighters game the way you want a King of Fighters game to be. As far as I can tell.
Absolutely.
And 12 was cool. 12 looked great.
Oh, they wanted you to hit her with a desperation move.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't need the meter at that point. I would need to go back and play some 12 to really compare them. I want to say the guys in 12 were bigger.
Okay.
But I think that this is still a pretty nice looking game.
Do we want to? Can we dump to the menu and?
Let's get one more fight. Just get all 3 of the dudes I picked here out of the way here.
For sure. Because you actually haven't lost a dude yet.
Yeah, it doesn't get hard until the very end, and then the boss has 46 hit combos that
just destroy you,
do things to you.
Again, clone on clone. You've got Evil Kyo. Or is he Evil Kyo?
I don't know.
No, you're Evil Kyo. Got a bunch of monks praying back there? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Are those guys gonna freak out at some point during this fight? I sure hope so.
Oh, that felt pretty good. So I'm playing with a stick. I mean, it's a 4-button game, and they map some of the button combos to the shoulder buttons if you want to go that route.
But do you think easy? Yeah, easy enough to still play on a regular controller.
It depends on personal preference and who you're gonna be playing against and how serious you want to take it and stuff. What's his? My meter's full here. Might as well. Oops. Well, not anymore. Blew that.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on with the fire effects.
Yeah.
Where
some
it's
good looking fire with they're
extra sharp,
drawing some polygonal fire to go with up against these 2D characters and stuff.
All right, there we go. Dudes are losing it back there for round 2.
Yeah.
Hey, Diamond versus Kyo. This is the King of Fighters.
Yep. Thought it was cooler when they just called him Goro. Doesn't have enough arms for it, though. There we go.
Smoke that guy.
I put some fire to that ass.
He certainly did. These guys back there are doing the Bernie.
Let's see if they get even crazier here. They're just going. Even the characters in the game have nothing left to say to each other at this point.
Well,
Kyo, this is King of Fighters 13, man. You weren't even here for all of them. So,
you're a character that has come into favor over the course of this series. That's a lot. I mean, it's 13. It's a lot.
It is. It's a whole lot. And that doesn't even count, it's like Neo Wave and, some of the other stuff that they've done over the years with the King of Fighters name, R2.
Aren't there some where there's like, are there like 298s or something? Or 297s? There's something weird.
No, it's the numbering got a little weird in the US because some of the Dreamcast releases got...
right, like 99. I think it's the 99. There's some weirdness there. Yeah.
But yeah, I still think 98 is the pinnacle.
There was a lot of dudes in that game.
There were a ton of dudes.
That game had
also the best theme music. In fact, the orders of this, I don't know if it's all of them or it's just the first run or pre-orders or what the deal is, but with our copies, we received the King of Soundtracks, a 4 CD set. With music from throughout the series. I haven't put it in yet, but I imagine that it, if it's going to be the King of Soundtracks, it's just going to be the title screen music from KOF 98 over and over again
for 4 CDs.
Yeah, for 4 CDs.
That
hot rap. It's got fresh rhymes on it.
Oh man.
So yeah, I guess I imagine this is if you're doing well, you'll face off against one of the characters that is initially hidden.
Okay. I guess got a stick. That seems unfair.
It's Billy Kane. It's Kane right in the name, man. It's Kane with a K, sure, but Kane is like a pole. I think that counts. So now we've got, we've got Art of Fighting guys facing off against each other here. So, they've got even more history than a lot of the other kings of fighters.
They're talking about Geese. Is Geese Howard in this game?
I don't think so. You'll just have to imagine someone going, Geese. Oh.
This stage is kind of boring.
Oh.
Cancel you out. Now you're not such a fan of that Kane.
Yeah, I don't like it. So if I hadn't already unlocked him, that would have unlocked him. It's
Yeah.
Unlocking there are 2 achievements for unlocking hidden characters, so I imagine it's just those 2. You know, maybe they have other versions of fighters hidden in there somewhere. I always like that. Because you're like, well, we've made so many different versions of Terry Bogard over the years. Which ones do you want? So here we get a little bit of hint of the story. A little Rose Bernstein, I guess her name is.
I can't hear her.
Yeah, exactly. There's no actual voice. Instead, you just get these kind of ghetto-looking anime sequences. And that's more animated than most of the. You know, you don't normally get mouth movement. If I
was
remember
gonna say it's little motion comic-y here. The kind of static stuff going on. Well, this is compelling, Jeff.
I know. So I will quit out of here. We can go into the story mode proper, so you can see more action like that. Can't quit from here.
You will quit when the King of Fighters 13 tells you to quit.
Hot tracks like Tame a Bad Boy.
Can be yours when you purchase the King of Soundtracks.
Oh, I can't vouch for if that song is on the King of Soundtracks or not, but it does have some from this game as well.
Before you go to story, let's just quickly look at the other
well, we've got option 5
modes here.
Practice.
Xbox Live, replay gallery. What's mission? You're talking about some of the mission challenges that were in the...
Yeah, so, you know, you get your survivor mode, your time attack, and also trial mode, which is kind of the character-specific missions. This is, I'm going to say, similar to some of the stuff you saw in your Street Fighter 4s and your Marvel vs. Capcom 3s.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like, you know, SNK is making a King of Fighters game, added maybe a couple new characters. I haven't kept up, so I really can't say. But it doesn't look like they're trying to break a ton of new ground, necessarily, so...
Well, you know, it'll be interesting to see how people react to this game. I know people have been playing the arcade version for a while, and it seems to have been better received than 12 was in a tournament way.
Okay.
So, you know, here you get kind of your mission mode. And they actually provide just the buttons right there, so that's kind of nice.
What's...
Yay! I think that's Diana.
Say, why is she getting hugged by knights?
Yeah, I don't know. She's weird. Cool is weird. It's pretty cool though. All the dialogue of characters talking to Kula is all really condescending. Just like, what the hell is your problem, little girl? Why are you even here?
So we were playing in the
that was arcade mode, and then story mode. Ugh.
Yeah.
So this is what shows up after you've played the story mode at all. You get kind of these different chapters here, and you know, depending on some of the choices you make throughout the story, like it'll give you some options about, you know, where you want to go from here, and that'll kind of open up different chapters along the way.
Okay.
So this is basically me going through the story twice, or going through the story once and losing at the very end. Mm-hmm. And then because the final boss is tricky, and I didn't feel like continuing. And then going back and doing some different stuff to kind of... So you see I've filled in 50% of these scenes so far.
Okay.
Or according to the rate meter down there. But, you know, we can kind of just jump in to any of these scenes that we've already seen before and kind of pick it up from there.
Oh, so you can see everything without necessarily playing through the entire story, like...
Right. If I'm just missing a scene near the very end, and I know that I need to do something different there, I can pick up at a scene before it and try to figure out a way to get into that scene. And this will go into fighting. This isn't just watch cutscenes. Saiki here does not like Ash. But Ash is... They're working together. I don't know. Orochi something. The stadium is built on top of a temple.
What?
Whatever.
Yeah,
Madness.
I don't know that I...
So here we pick teams.
I feel like I prefer the okay. So it's just prefab.
Yeah, your Team K-Dash, Women Fighters, Psycho Soldier, Art of Fighting, Team Akari Warriors.
I want to see how Mai is looking these days.
Okay, all right. Team Women Fighters. I've never been a huge Mai player, so we'll see how it goes. But that's how she's looking.
All right,
little lopsided. King, same deal. You finish off King with a fireball, bust open her shirt. That still happens.
Yeah.
And frankly, you need it needs to. That is the tradition. That needs to happen.
Saying that has nothing to do with any sort of.
It's no surprise that King is a woman now, but
yes. I didn't realize that it ever was a surprise that she was.
It was a surprise for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because back in the 90s, no one paid attention to anything ever, and the graphics weren't good enough.
Sure, it just said, King. Yeah.
So here, we get since it's set teams and stuff, they've kind of written dialogue for how the teams face off.
I feel like even if it was like well done, which it doesn't necessarily seem like it is, with the complete lack of speech and the kind of low production values on some of the cutscene stuff, I feel like I prefer my King of Fighters story implied more than explicitly stated.
Yeah, just like one mid-game cutscene that says something incomprehensible.
And you're like, what? Why is that guy the devil? I don't get. But I guess that's the pressure.
Oh. It has EX moves, like a Street Fighter, if that's your point of entry there. If you use both punch buttons to do a move, it'll burn some meter, and you'll do an upgraded version of that move.
I guess that's a good question, assuming that that your point of reference for King of Fighters is not King of Fighters.
Yeah.
If it's Street Fighter or Marvel or MK or something.
Right.
What do you think kind of the learning curve on this looks like?
I think if you play a lot of Street Fighter, it's not that hard to pick up, and some of the stuff they've done in Marvel with different levels of jump and stuff like that is stuff that originated probably in some of these games. I could be getting my years wrong on that though. So it's really you've got if you hit both lights, you get this roll. That's something you don't see in some of those games. But generally speaking, I mean the moves list is not going to look too surprising to people. SNK I think got a reputation early on for having ridiculous super move motions, and that's some stuff that these are more challenging to some players than the
quarter circle, half circle,
than just doing all right. Double fireball with these buttons is going to do it every time, or double charge or whatever. So you see kind of like quarter circle back, and then half circle forward for first one there, and then which is not that difficult.
The other one's
in this day and age, like I think a lot of people have picked that stuff up, and it's not going to be that big of a deal. Again, in the 90s, people were not executing.
Well, in the 90s, you also couldn't hit pause and look at the moves list.
So true.
Like, how do I do that? Okay, now I know how to do that. It was a much more eldritch process.
Jesus.
That pretty much got you all the way there.
I really don't like Andy Bogard. Never have.
What's to like about him?
Exactly. Nothing. Oh, Jesus. That stuff's pretty. It's whooping my ass, though.
Is Rio still in the mix?
Yeah. He's part of Team Art of Fighting along with Robert and Takuma. And he's got the Dan style fireball that has no travel on it.
Yeah.
So if you want like basically a version of Kyo that actually has full fireballs, Robert basically is that version of that character. There are other differences and stuff, but all right, we're gonna glance the move list here. What do I do here? So that's all right. That.
Oh, jeez. Joe's still kind of giving you the run for it, though.
I mean, this is the team, man.
Yeah.
Andy, Terry, and Joe. That's
Joe's no joke.
franchise was launched. That was King of Fighters 94, as far as I'm concerned. And then, of course, it has online play, but we're playing this the day before the game comes out, so I don't know that we'll actually find anybody. Oh, Jesus.
So currently under your life bar there, it says for the target action to perform a drive cancel. Does it ever give you enough context that you would know what that stuff means?
It has. There's a tutorial in the game that sets
Okay.
up what a drive cancel is and how that stuff works.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest tutorial in the world of fighting games, but it does explain its terminology. The game actually also has a pretty good manual.
Like an actual physical manual.
Yeah, an actual physical manual that is lengthy, and not just because it's also in there in French. Like it's
But also it's in there in French.
It's in there in French. But it is one of the thickest video game manuals I've seen in a long time, which is not to say it is exhaustive, but it does.
It is more than one piece of
game,
paper.
Yes, exactly. The game explains itself.
Oh,
Meanwhile, under
evil.
the stadium.
What? This can't be good. Oh, no.
Oh, that's probably bad.
Well, Jeff, I don't want to ruin the story of King of Fighters 13 for folks. But anything else to kind of feature here? I feel like we've seen some damn King of Fighters here.
I mean, we could try to get into an online game, see if we find anyone.
I don't think we really need to.
I'm really curious to see if the lag is any good, though, because
Okay.
it's kind of the...
But I mean, it looks like as far as your modes here, it's not like they've gone crazy with it.
Oh, here we go. Might have found someone.
It is online King of Fighters, which is separate from King of Fighters Online, the MMO.
Right. Okay, so
That guy is registered with Iori. I was going to say we haven't actually seen any Iori yet, so that'll round it out for us here. Did that say where he was coming from?
It did not.
Give a region or anything like that?
I didn't spend a whole lot of time looking at it.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Okay, good. We good. So you can set a profile team ahead of time, and opt to use that, or go in and pick. I'm just gonna go back to what was actually probably my profile team, but all right, I'm just gonna put this out here. The latency on moving the icon in this menu is not
already not leaving good impressions.
not so great. We'll see how it goes, but King of Fighters 12 was a mess on the internet. And hopefully this game is better, because it deserves that. Yeah, this is again hard to know.
Pre-release.
I don't know who we're playing against, where he's from, or anything like that. But. Oh, jeez.
But you're just saying, first impression here
Bad.
is not great.
Yeah.
Less than ideal.
Yeah, so hopefully,
And
hopefully starting later this week when the game's out, it'll there'll be more people playing, and it'll feel a little better. But
There is historical evidence to suggest that otherwise might be the case.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
That's unfortunate.
Anyway, that's King of Fighters 13. No need to sit through the rest of this fight. I'll finish it out. But
all right, yeah, that's available this week on PlayStation 3
Yeah.
and Xbox 360.
and it's $50.
Oh, good to know.